So when I first started to do leadership coaching, and this was, decades ago. My focus was a lot on this whole idea of career building, and so it was a lot about the organization and the career and how you move from one place to the next, and very much in my head and in their head. Um, I've grown. I've gotten wiser. I've done my own healing. I am leading from a very, very different place than I was, several decades ago. And so, conscious coaching for me and the way I've chosen to coach leaders is to focus on them and their whole self and why they have come into this planet. Why are they on this planet at this time doing this particular piece of work? Because the vision is larger, of course. This idea, the path that we're on, why we're here, is huge. And when we are in an organization and leading, that is just one way of expressing the vision. And so what I'm always looking at is the whole way of expressing this vision and bringing them to the truth of who they are so that they can express themselves as leader in the wholeness of them, identifying their uniqueness and their contributions to the particular piece of work. Because often people don't even truly understand the magnitude of their contribution and how that is impacting the whole, right? How that is impacting not just the team they're leading, not just this piece of work, but the entire mandate for the organization. But bigger than that, how it impacts the world, how they're contributing to the world. So we are using the time and the space to help them to see themselves in their full magnificence and bringing that full magnificence into the work that they're doing and what they've been asked to lead. And of course, looking at the mandate that they're working with within this particular time frame and helping them to get to that mandate quicker. My focus is really on making sure that people are not working hard. There is this, and that they're just doing all of this work and they're working hard and there's all of this show, but that they are working from their inner self, the truth of who they are, so that they can express themselves in the best way possible and most effortlessly and easy, and what the Western world calls smart. I love to look at, for instance, many leaders use the 360 evaluation model, and I like to look at the results of that and then help them to see deeper, to see why this message is coming to them at this time. Whether the message is that they're doing absolutely amazing, or that the message is saying you're doing amazing here but not so well here. To really understand that the communication is a message that they're getting as to what they need, how they need to grow, not just in the work, but how they need to grow as individuals. Because how you show up at work is really how you show up everywhere. How you show up in your home is really how you show up everywhere. We can try to do this whole thing of compartmentalizing, but in the depth of it all, in the core of our spirit, it's the same thing happening. It's one thing happening. This is why I don't do one-off coaching. I like to do at least 7 sessions with leaders, and 7 to 10 sessions, and I like to work with them over an entire year, or over 7 months, so that we can take a journey together. For me, conscious coaching is about the journey, the learning journey. I get to really understand people in their fullness, not just the work that they're doing, but what is it that they love? What brings them joy? My greatest result is when I can take a leader who is being really unhappy at work, and who is not sleeping, who is doing 3 hours a night, 4 hours if they're lucky, and I can take them from that place to having really good rest, and being in full joy and seeing how they can contribute to this work and not make it a burden, but make their gifts the gift to the organization and the gift to the world. That's like, oh, I know I've done my job, and I know I've done my job well. That's the joy for me. Conscious coaching for me, it's about coaching from the whole place and coaching in full awareness of not just the person, but the organization, their team, and myself, the space that we're in. You know, my teacher, Ian Van Zandt, I always say awareness awareness is like mental masturbation. Because you gotta get it there, but then what? So how do we move from your question is, how do we move from awareness to action? And I it is always my joy to see people move into action, because that's where we need to be. Awareness is this place where you know the thing, you can talk about the thing, you can, you're verbose even in your communication. Action is now where you are able to implement for impact and sustainability. So at Aina-Nia Learning Journey Inc., we talk about the 3I framework. And that really is about introspection, intention, and implementation. And introspection is key. That's the piece. That piece, introspective piece, is where I often see westernized leaders and non-traditional practitioners fail, because they don't give themselves that time to do that introspection, to look at how am I being. Often we look at how everybody else is being, and we look at even how systems are being. But how am I being? Why am I in this place? Why have I created these characters in my play? It's a cast. We're all creating the cast. And doing that introspection about what am I learning? So what has been the steps? What has probably even been the missteps? And what is the learning in this? Introspection also about what is the bigger purpose of whatever it is that I'm doing. What is the bigger purpose? What am I trying to shift here? What am I trying to change? What am I trying to grow? Introspection is that space where we allow ourselves to connect with our spiritual beingness. That higher place, that where I call, where, and not I meaning that I created it, but where I often speak to that inner vision that we have, right? Where we can see, where we can go into stillness and truly see and feel and smell and know what is happening for us, for those around us, for those outside of those around us. Introspection. And then when we're able to do that, that's where that awareness thing happens. When we're able to do that, now we can create a clear intention for what it is that we want. I'm not talking about a goal, because a goal says, my goal is to achieve housing for those who are most marginalized. Yeah? In an intention, we assume it's already happened. So in an intention, we're really, really clear. It's not, and goals can be like, almost like laundry list. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. An intention instead then says, it's already happened. So I'm speaking it, I'm writing it, I'm declaring it as though it has already happened. When I work with the leaders that I work with, I'm saying to them, so you intend to create affordable housing. That's it, because that's a hot topic these days. And so for whom? When? How? What will that look like? So there will be 300 units and 200 of those units look this way. The people will feel this way. People will walk in and they will see themselves. You're almost dreaming, right? You see the people already in the space. You are already experiencing the laughter, the joy, the successes of it. And all you're doing is declaring it. So you're identifying an intention in a way that there is a lack of doubt. There's no doubt. When you are clear in your intention because you've done the introspection, there is no doubt. There is only a declaration of something that in your mind has already happened and now it's going to be actualized. So you are firm in it. You are believing of it. You are knowing of it. It's already done. And when you are able as a leader to speak to your team and those that you're working with that level of confidence, knowing that whatever resource you need is already there, knowing that the people who are going to benefit, that your beneficiaries are already in place and waiting for you, knowing that there is a timeline to it, and allowing that to be so and releasing it. Then, now you're going to implement. And so your actions are clear. Imagine that you're going into something already seeing it happen. It's like you're watching a television, a television series. It's already happened. And so now all you're doing is putting the things in place physically to see the unfolding of it. All of the resources you need for that implementation is already done. So you just call the resources in. Yeah, I know it sounds a little crazy, yeah? But it isn't. It's real. It's the understanding of our power. It's you being the alchemy. You're an alchemist. Every single one of us are alchemists. We can create things. And imagine you as a leader, as an executive leader, as a middle manager, as a junior manager, as a leader of your organization, as a leader of your business, as an entrepreneur, as a professional, as in your professional services, as a leader in your home. Imagine that you operated in this place of introspection, clear intention, and very easy unfolding of its implementation. Imagine how much less stress you will be experiencing. Imagine the joy, because you're already embodying the thing, right? Because your intention allowed you to embody it. And imagine that you're putting these steps in place, not overburdening yourself or living in some airy-fairy place, but knowing that this is being applied and expressed and implemented with ease. Imagine that it is possible. I work with people every day who make that happen. The key is you must always then be able to go back, do the introspection, do the intention, and do the implementation over and over and over again with that level of knowingness. Beloved, stay connected with us by clicking the subscribe button and turning on your notifications.